Today, authority, the authority of the inner physical reality over what is physically seen, why the primary always governs the secondary, and what the thinker's authority means in precise terms. This is the 7-minute daily focus, day 165 of 365, to focus on the world within from the world without. Today's focus, the law of physical expression, authority of physical expression. Pause for a moment. 11 days in. Steadfastness understood. The quality of the thinker through the invisible period. Not willpower against doubt, the natural consequence of understanding that the primary reality is within. Today, authority, the authority of the inner physical reality over what is physically seen, why the primary always governs the secondary, and what the thinker's authority means in precise terms. Pause. The physical cannot govern the metaphysical. This is a fixed statement. Not a preference, not a teaching about what should be, a description of what is, because the physical does not have independent life. Its animating reality, the source of its existence, is the metaphysical, and the life cannot be governed by what it gives life to. The source cannot be governed by what flows from the source. The cause cannot be governed by its effect. The physical world presents itself as governing. It speaks loudly. It appears solid, fixed, authoritative. But its appearance of authority is itself secondary. It derives that appearance from the metaphysical that produces it. The primary governs, always. Pause. The physical reality within the thought governs the physical expression that will appear, not in the sense of commanding it from outside, in the sense of being its source. The physical expression does not determine what the inner reality will be. The inner reality determines what the physical expression will be. The expression follows the source, and the source is always within. This means that the thinker who holds the physical reality within the thought is already operating from the position of governance, not from force, from the precise position of what governs, the inner reality, the source. Thought is within, effect is without, thinking stands between. Pause. The thinker who operates from within is the only thinker who holds the power to translate the thought into its physical reality more effectively than the thinker who operates from without only. The physical position, the mind receiving from the five senses, has no such power. No power to develop the physical reality within the thought. No power to advance the unfolding. No power of translation. The translation belongs entirely to the metaphysical position, to the mind receiving from the first sense, to the thinker operating from within. This is the authority of the inner position, not claimed, given by the precise structure of how reality operates. Pause. What happens when conditions appear to contradict what is within? The condition that speaks against the inner reality is presenting itself as authoritative. It is reporting from secondary reality, and it appears in its solidity and immediacy to be governing. The thinker who does not understand the law yields to the condition's apparent authority, allows the physical report to govern the direction of thinking, and in doing so shifts from the position of authority to the position of reaction. The thinker who understands the law recognizes precisely what the condition is: secondary reality, the expression of what has already been, with no authority over what is unfolding within, and from that understanding, the condition is not denied. It is simply not given authority it does not possess. Pause. The quality of the thinker who understands their authority is a quiet certainty, not aggression toward conditions, not dismissal of what is without, a quiet internal knowing of what is primary and what is secondary, a steadiness that does not require conditions to agree in order to remain. The thinker is certain not because the physical world confirms the inner reality, but because the first sense has perceived what is within, and the inner sight is more precise than the physical senses. It perceives primary reality, what actually is, not what has already expressed. And from that precision, the thinker holds their position, quietly, with authority, not from force, from understanding, not doubtfulness, not struggle, not force. You are not pushing the seed, not pressure. You are not trying to make it happen, but steadfastness, focused. Remain aligned with what is within. Do not be moved by what is physically seen, because what is physically seen is always secondary to what is unfolding. Now, the affirmation for day 165. Pause for a moment. I operate from the position of authority, from within, from the source. The physical reality within my thought governs what will physically express, not conditions, not what is physically seen. The inner reality, the primary. The physical cannot govern the metaphysical. The secondary cannot govern the primary. The expression cannot govern the source. And the source is within my thought, where I remain, operating from the metaphysical position, the only position that holds the power to translate the thought into its physical reality. I hold that position, quietly, with the authority that belongs to the position of within, not claimed, given. And from that authority, the unfolding continues toward the full physical expression of what is already within, remember, by design, by focus.